Alonzo Malcolm is a highly accomplished professional and entrepreneur. He has held many high-level positions and has an extensive experience in law enforcement, immigration, and administration. Alonzo has dedicated his career to serving his country, the Turks and Caicos Islands. He possesses a diverse educational background. He's attended Turks and Caicos Community College and excelled in several subjects. Additionally, he completed various courses and training programs, including the Police Training School in Barbados, the Caribbean Regional Drug Law Enforcement Training Center in Jamaica, and the Public Administration International Program in the United Kingdom. He holds a Bachelor of Business in Leadership and Sustainability, as well as an MBA in General Management from Charisma University. Alonzo has held positions such as being a police officer, Immigration Marine Branch Officer, Assistant Director and Secretary to the Immigration Board. In 2002, Alonzo was appointed Deputy Director of Immigration Administration. In 2008, Alonzo was promoted to the position of Director of Immigration. He also chaired the Joint Law Enforcement Committee and was involved in policy development, staff training, and disciplinary matters. After his tenure as Director of Immigration, he served as the Director of Housing, responsible for housing development strategies and more. He also served as the Director of Estate Management, overseeing government asset management and more. Alonzo held the position of Director of Road Safety and Transport, where he focused on enforcing road safety regulations and more. Alonzo is a consultant and continues to strive for great success and make a difference. Let's welcome Alonzo to Pathways to Success.
Welcome to Pathway to Success. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Hunter, and I have with me today the much achieved and very influential Mr. Alonzo Malcolm, business consultant and entrepreneur. Welcome, Mr. Alonzo Malcolm, to Pathway to Success.
Thank you, Dr. Hunter.
Can you tell us about your journey and experience in civil service, starting from your early days as a constable in the Royal Turks and Caicos Police Force to your role as Director of Immigration?
Well, Dr. Hunter, I started out as a police officer at the age of 17.
Wow.
I joined the police force while I was still in high school, like a month before I graduated from high school. And I left for training like the next day after graduation. I was off to training to Barbados for 6 months. Coming back. Go ahead, Doctor.
What was that like? Because at the age of 17, you had at that age, many young men don't have an idea what they want to be in life. But why law enforcement? Tell me.
Well, I always wanted to be a police officer in my mind. I felt I could have contributed in some way to the islands. So after, counting down to the last month in high school, I made up my mind to put in my application, and I was accepted to the police force.
That's good. Any other persons before you was a police officer in your family that maybe?
Yeah, my uncle, he was assistant commissioner of police at the time of when he retired.
Oh, that makes sense. No, I understand. So, what was that like? Because you trained in Barbados, and I know that Barbados have a high standard of education. What was that like for you at the age of 17 at their training institution there?
Well, I was as young as at the training school at that time as well. And trust me, you go into an institution where you have other recruits having like 9 passes at GCE and CXE levels, and here a young person like me going with 2 or 3. Yeah. So the competition was stiff there because the Bajans at that time, they, no disrespect, they felt that they were the elites when it comes to education.
That's true. They still think that way today.
Yeah. So after completing my course in Jamaica, I came back to Turks and Caicos. Uh, I received
Hold
a
on, hold on, Malcolm. You said you went, Mr. Malcolm, you went to Jamaica too?
yes, I went to Jamaica as well.
For what side of that training did you went to Jamaica? Because that's a Jamaica police
That
officers are tough police officers.
that was a mistake. When I came back from Barbados, I meant to say I will get to Jamaica later.
Okay, okay, okay.
When I came back, I was trained as a police fireman in the police force, and then later on, I was um, induced to go into the immigration service by some senior persons within the government who said that they needed help in the police in immigration at the time. They needed young, capable persons. So when I joined the immigration department, um, I did extensive training, law enforcement training. Uh, I went to Jamaica, where I got valedictorian on a course over there, narcotics investigation, narcotics investigation and fraud prevention course,
Mhm.
and came back to 13 Caicos. Then I went to the UK, where I trained as a crisis communication officer,
Mhm.
and came back here. We did some other courses that helped propel me up the ranks. I skipped a rank. I was promoted straight to assistant director of immigration. And at that time, during my tenure in immigration, I wrote one or two MOUs, like the multi-task force document that was, I believe, was accepted in the other OTs in the other territory. Um, I also did a management document within the immigration department, structure, and also good governance, mass movement, you name it. There's a number of documents that was accepted. The multi-task force team was signed off by the then Minister Honorable Gilmore Williams, who was the premier at the time. And that document was created to have a soft approach with dealing with areas where tourists was in, where tourists congregated, instead of rushing in there with guns blazing, you know what I mean, guns blazing, uniform, you name it. So I was tasked with coming up a softer approach, and it was accepted. Um, it was not easy in the government service, and I tell anybody today, never give up. You know, continue at it, even though when adversity hits you. Because there were a few times I was demoted, back down the ranks, and then came back like a few months later, back up the ranks for being real, for telling the truth. You know, some people can't take you um, being straightforward with them, but in a good way. You know what I mean? But straightforward, not don't be disrespectful now. You know, you need to be able to uh, articulate yourself, but be respectful when you articulate yourself.
Well, you're an historian, joined the police force at stage 17. Then you went to Barbados, came back. You've been to Britain, you've been to Jamaica, you're a valedictorian. Also, that's quite a lot of achievement for a young man. So at such a young age. Also, you went on also to become director of housing. What were some of the key challenges that you faced as director of housing, and how did you address them to ensure the provision of safe and affordable housing for the public in Turks, people in Turks?
Well, one of the key issues with finding or dealing with low cost housing at that time was financing, and also zoning, looking at the proper areas to build low cost income houses. And then also we looked at salaries increase where minimum wage was involved, um, infrastructure. So there was a lot of challenges. And finally, we adopt the approach that we should look after the older persons within the community, where houses uh, that where houses were to be constructed to house the older persons in the community. Um, it was going on before I came into the department. I just took the ball and run with it, and we tried to create strategies to implement to carry out our tasks.
Wow. So, could you share some of your achievements? Because as director of road safety, because what year was that you were director of road safety?
Yes, I became director of road safety after director of housing, and the challenges that I faced in the department again was we had to do public awareness because a lot of our young people were getting drunk, driving recklessly, causing accidents. So I even did a comprehensive document to govern the road safety department. It was a manual that covered everything. It covered uh, public awareness, good governance within the department. Because, well, what I did first was call for an audit, a complete audit of the department. Going into a department, you should call for a complete audit so you can know where the weaknesses are in the department and also what you need to implement. So that document was well received as well in the department, and I still use it up to date, even though I exit from 2009.
And how did you okay? What other measures that was put in place to reduce accidents and during your tenure and improving road safety in the Turks Island at that time?
Well, at the time, it's the police department who were responsible for traffic on the street. We're the administrators of the system. Road safety was the administrators of the system where um, revenue collection, um, also as well as the processes with the driver's license, vehicle registration, and stuff like that. So we collaborated with the police, and road checks or road safety was done on the streets along with the police. My officers, as well as the police, carried out safety checks on the road, slow people down, be able to go to the schools, talk to the children about pedestrian crossings, even walking the streets, and how they should be safe in whatever they do on the streets. As well as there was a program that we had on the radio, I think it's Road Safety and You, program that was aired every week and talking about safety tips as regards road safety.
No, you're all marked for success at the age of 17. You just rise up the ranks and obtain these powerful positions in government. How did you cope with because in every rise and every and in every climb in life, there's always detractors, jealousy and envy. How did you cope with that? How did you angle persons who were jealous of your rise? They try to come against you. How can you empower the viewers watching today to tell them what methods you used when you were faced with these challenges?
Well, first of all, we got to understand that there are attitudes out there. We have attitudes, and we have to keep our own attitudes in check and not harp on them, but see the good in people. Because the situation that I was faced with working in the government service is that the departments that I headed were problematic departments. So you must be able to support your staff no matter what. As a manager, I'm talking about this point of view. Support your staff as a manager first. Give them the benefit of the doubt, right? And giving your staff the benefit of the doubt. If they're wrong, if it's proven that they're wrong, the fact remains you're not wrong. Your staff is wrong, but you should support your staff, whatever situation arises, until they prove that they're wrong. Now, dealing with attitudes, that's a given. That's going to happen, but we don't want to make it a focal point, be the crybaby, and say, "Oh, this one don't like me. This one doing this one doing that to me." What we want to do is to bypass that, show people that we're bigger than that, or that we're not going to stoop to that level to find and prove, to fight. And at the same time, you win people over by your attitude. Mm-hmm. So I tell anybody, don't worry about the naysayers. Just keep focused on what you have ahead of you, what you want to accomplish. Most times when people talk about you behind your back, it's because they're behind.
Right.
You understand?
I like that.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Malcolm. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, yeah. You were saying something that most of the time, persons, the distractors who are fighting against you, they're normally behind you. Repeat that, because it kind of
I'm saying most of the people that talk about you behind your back are because they're behind you. You understand?
Right.
So we don't want to look backward, because if we're looking backward, that means we got to turn around and engage. So we want to keep focus that what is ahead of us, and I'm sure in time it will fade away. Anything that's behind us is either we leave it behind or it will fade away in time. Continue to move forward, and in time we will win others over with our attitudes. So once we see that we're not that aggressive person that they think we are, and most people who know me, if you're listening, they know what I went through in the service, but I never let that deter me. You have to be strong. And you remember, anything in life that comes to you easy, question it. But when you got to fight for what you want, embrace it.
I like that. Wow. Great words, great keys of wisdom to impart on this forum. Many persons are watching you all over the world, and that's a way to deal with whatever challenges that comes in life. I'm going to take a short break. I have a pathway to success with Mr. Alonzo Malcolm, and we'll be right back.
Kimor Gallimore Ministries presents Gospel to the World, featuring Martha Monizi, DJ Nicholas, Jason Mighty, Judith Gale, Carrie Diamond, AG Icon, The Journey, DAJ, Mr. Gallimore.
Your MCs, Pastor Kevin Mellifant and Nadine Blair.
Saturday, August 12th, 2023, 6 p.m. at the Royal Palm Beach Cultural Center, Florida. Tickets $40 pre-sold, $50 at the door, $70 VIP. Get your tickets online at www.gospeltotheworld.eventbrite.com. For more information, call 1-561-563-1969. Caribbean Gospel TV, the official television network for Gospel to the World.
Sponsored by Gallimore Motor Group, Golden Crust Caribbean Restaurant, Pathways to Success, J.N. Money, Pocket Church, Larvation Web, Selling Sunset Reality, and Love 101 FM. For tickets and more, visit gospeltotheworld.org.
Did you pick out this detergent all by yourself? So cute.
It's half the size and it's half the plastic. And there's nothing cute about unnecessary plastic. Christy, the average person generates over 200 pounds of plastic a year. And there are 329 million of us in the U.S. alone.
Do you want paper or paper? Yeah.
7th generation Easy Dose laundry detergent. Half the size, half the plastic, all the clean.
So where were we?
The playoff.
Oh, yes. Only a handful of teams remained, hailing from kingdoms far and wide across the college football land, all vying for a spot in the playoffs. Each team led by a great coach fearless players and defended by the loyalist of fans. Soon, they would take part in an epic playoff battle for the right to call themselves national champions. And to the victor go the spoils, a beautiful trophy, a grand celebration, and bragging rights that stand the test of time.
And then what happened?
We'll find out soon.
Ready? All clear. Come on out.
Chewie.
This ship is now under the command of the First Order.
Live your Star Wars story in a new 2-night adventure.
You know what I've come for.
Only at Walt Disney World Resort.
Welcome to back to Pathway to Success. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Hunter, and we have the much achieved. He's a historian, became a police officer at the age of 17. Then he went on to be director of immigration, and then he was also director of road safety. A well-accomplished entrepreneur. And we're going to look on that side, also the entrepreneur side of Mr. Alonzo Malcolm from the beautiful island of Turks. I've never been to the Turks island, but I've heard about its beauty and its beaches, and we're looking forward to come there. But Mr. Malcolm, what motivated you to resign from civil service and pursue entrepreneurship in various sectors such as gas station management, business consultancy, and real estate?
Dr. Hunt, I had these things going on while I was in government.
Wow.
My wife and I, we were running the gas station. I had my architectural business for 30 years. I was doing business plans for people at the time. We were doing also development projects for people, marinas, you name it. It was going on with that for before I left government, but I thought it was time for me to leave the service. 30 years, man, it's enough.
Yeah.
And before I left the service, I used to travel a lot for conferences, CARICOM meetings, MPACs, the lower MPACs is for CARICOM, if you know about CARICOM.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'd be in Barbados thinking I'm in Jamaica. So attending these meetings, and I started to get jet lag and all that, flying up and down, but I love making a change, and I would employ anybody, if you can make a change in someone's life, do so. You would feel good, and so come 2019, I was made an offer to work full-time with a development company, to be their liaison officer with the government, manage all the government issues and stuff. And I just made up my mind one day and told my wife, I said, I'm done. Give government a month's notice. And then we've been okay since then. But you're on a hustle now, remember that.
Yeah.
Government job, you wake up 8:30 or 8 o'clock, not 8 o'clock, you go on the job at 8 o'clock, and your salary is there. So being a business person or running your own businesses, you have to there's more accountability and more scrutiny to get things done and to make a success of yourself.
I mean, owning a gas station, that in itself is a great achievement because, that must take a lot of capital to get that started and also to have it running. And having it running, that it's also brings in the money that you need.
Well, we're doing okay with the gas. It's holding its own. My main job is working with investors. Right now, we're working with an investor for $1 billion investor in development in East Caicos, and it spins over to North Caicos, and also I'm working with some other people for a hotel for the capital, Grand Turks. And we are also working with some other people for, I think it's South Caicos. Yes, the island of South Caicos. I have a few persons that work with me who take on the task and the role as my assistant and remind me of some things that I would fall short on. So
I'm going to ask you this question. What is the real estate investment market like in Turks, Caicos? And another question I wanted to ask, when I come there, if I can come and fill up my gas tank free at your service station.
Of course. And I just received the stats 2 days ago. The real estate is booming over here. I saw, if I can remember correctly, I just browsed through it. Investment and totaling over $243 million. That is up there. Yeah. And then private homes that are to be sold was 100-something million. I just looked at the stats about two days ago. I didn't go through it thoroughly. Just some of the main stuff.
So, if someone is coming in from where an investor is coming in and want to invest to purchase a property like a 3-bedroom home in the Turks Island, or what's the price would that person be looking at?
Well, if it's in a nice area like Grace Bay, upscale area, you may be looking at like maybe 800,000 to 1.2 million.
For a 3-bedroom?
Yes. If it's in an upscale area, yes. And like Grace Bay, most investors build in that area, in Grace Bay and above.
Is that a gated community or just?
Well, it's one of our elite areas. It's a well-off area that more the rich and famous are. And then we have Parakeet, where most of the celebrities go. That in itself, you may be looking at purchasing a home over there for $5 to $7 million, 2-bedroom and beachfront, but it's very luxurious.
Okay, that's great. How do you balance your diverse business interests? Because you have so many things going on. How do you balance all of that?
Well, like I said, I have an assistant that helps me here in Provo, and then I have one in Grand Turks that help me to stay the course and remind me of certain things. Because I do forget at times, brain ain't functioning like how it used to. So when I come over, there's a gentleman that be with me all the time. He continues to remind me, you have to do this, you have to do this. And then in Grand Turks, I'm reminded by someone in my office, an assistant in my office, She continues to remind me about issues that I have to deal with. I like working for myself and being out there because I meet people, you know. But I would still encourage people who are in the government service to continue to do the best that they can, the best of their ability to do what is right. And nobody can promote you, only you can promote yourself. You limit yourself. So I implore anybody that if you want to continue to stay in the government service, continue to work to promote yourself. Because promotion comes from within first. People respect you when they see that you have a stand. In a situation where you should tell the truth, tell the truth. Be honest with people again. Just mindful of the attitude. I'm going to give you a scenario. I was director of immigration. I came out to the front desk one day, and I had a low attitude in my voice. I said to the person, "Why are you not helping this?" And you know what he did? He was the chairman of the Public Service Commission at the time. He said, "Malcolm, can I have a word with you?" So I said, "Sure." So I went out in the open office to him. He pulled me aside. He said, "Listen, I saw the attitude you had in your voice. You didn't raise your voice or anything." He said, "But remember, respect is due to a dog. And also that if you're in charge, you have to raise your voice to show that you're in charge." You understand that? You don't have to raise your voice to show that you're the authoritative person there. So he molded my thinking. He was one of those that molded my thinking in the service while he was there. And he motivated me to continue my education. And while I enrolled with Charisma University and finished my bachelor's. And that's when I decided, okay, now I got my bachelor's, so time for me to exit the service. And Charisma University is a university that's hands-on, face-to-face and online. So anybody, and it's here locally as well. It's in Provo. They have a campus in Provo. So I encourage people to build themselves with that. Go and get your degree.
Congratulations. With the transition from government into being your own boss, how do your experiences in the civil service, including leadership development, crisis communication, inform your approach, your approach, and towards the business consultancies and security management services?
Well, working in the service and the training that I received for the service, how old to deal with situations, because I was trained at PAI in the UK with crisis communication, and coming back to the Turks and Caicos, I was the spokesperson for the ministry. The ministry had a number of departments like immigration, fire, and I was the spokesperson for all these departments. I was designated as the spokesperson. And then it also helped me mold my mind that disasters come in all forms. You understand? So it don't have to be natural disasters, hurricanes. It could be man-made, and it also could be labor issues. So being trained on that level opened my mind to deal with issues on a different level, and it also strengthened me when I exit the government and how I deal with matters, and also to help others, because I also do deal with labor matters for people. I'm a layman person when it comes to dealing with labor issues in court. I can go to the labor tribunal, the labor court, and deal with issues for I also do that, deal issues for people. So, like I said, that government institution helped mold my mind for me to be the best I can be as an entrepreneur and as a business person on all levels comes to my business.
In your role as a business consultant, what strategies do you employ to help businesses improve their operations and enhance efficiency and overcome challenges?
Okay, well, first of all, you have to have a corporate strategy, business strategy, and a functional strategy. And these strategies, the overall strategy is the corporate strategy that enables you. It tells you about your vision, your mission, and where you want to go. So, working with these tools and that strategy by dealing with investors, mainly my consultancy is with investors, and they are able to feed on my knowledge from immigration standpoint. When you're asking for a social issue, the social impact comes to work, the integration of certain ethnic background or the role of importation, so you name it. When it comes to a British business strategy for the government, I help on all levels where architectural come involved, where we do site plans or business plans like the schematic, artist renditions. We also do the takeoffs for the project, meaning what the project should cost. That's what is most interested in, to see what the project is costing. What is it going to bring to the Turks and Caicos Island job? And we're going to bring a good quality service with the jobs. And now you do training and succession planning, all of these strategy planning for developers.
As a property manager yourself, a property owner and manager, what principles do you adhere in order to provide excellent service and ensure satisfaction to your tenants?
Well, the principle is that you must keep a good product for your tenants, and that means maintenance, and that also means that you have to be there when the call comes. And right now the Turks and Caicos is facing a shortage of properties or rental, and there's a demand for rental property. So you would find a lot of people, you find a lot of people trying to find housing. People, expatriate persons come to the island to work, looking for housing, but as the landlord, you must make sure that your apartments are the highest standard. It's always maintained, always properly groomed, and then you can demand the rent that you want.
That makes sense.
Or you design.
That makes a lot of sense. Is it easier to buy or to rent in the Turks Island market, real estate market?
Well, if you are an investor, yes. But when you're looking at blue collar workers or workers, and there you have people that share apartment units right now because there is a shortage of units. We can't find a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom unit just like that, unless you're willing to pay above your salary range.
Well, that's amazing. It's because that means more investors from the Americas need to come on board and build properties there, or you need to start. Do you have a construction company?
I work with construction groups, a number of groups that I work with right now. The one company I work with is Caicos Contracting. I do all of their consultancy for them. They're the builders for Parrot Key. That's the high-end island, like where the rich and famous go. Bruce Willis have a house over there. Christy Brinkley, Donna Karan had a house, so I think she sold it now. And a number of elites that have houses over there. So I work with these people. Well, not them per se, but the construction company that works for them. And I do all their consultancy. Whatever it is, plenty potential.
Okay, for people watching you right now, if there's anyone that's thinking about the Turks, the island of Turks, what is it how would you sell the island to those who are watching today? Why should we come to the Turks Island? Why should investors invest in the Turks Island?
Well, first of all, we're investment friendly over here. And the people are a great bunch of people. Now, you talked earlier about the naysayers.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to find that at any small community, and I'm saying that, but in general, the people are a great bunch of people. There's a diverse ethnic background over here, and we embrace each other in the sense that we have respect for each other. And I would encourage any investor to come and feed on a good quality economy if you want to do business, and also our housing in terms of condos, townhouses. They're built to the highest standard there is to withstand any hurricane force. Just about.
I was just going to ask you if you have if the standards are up to. Well, the Caribbean normally we're the best in building houses because our house is built to withstand hurricane.
Yes.
But do you have like properties that has like a cistern or standby electrical generator?
Yes. That houses over here, the condos and townhouses do carry standby generators in case of power outages. And now there's a building system that is being used where the roofs are cement instead of wooden roof with the now. So over a period of time, the building systems are getting stronger in the Turks and Caicos.
Which is very good because when you start talking about slab, you're talking about slabbing the roofs, like concrete roofs now, instead of using the other type of roof, the zinc or the tile. Jamaica's known for that. That's the first place I saw that. It's really good when it comes to the hurricane back there because we don't lose roofs, we don't lose, it's so that's the same thing, building structures that you're introducing now.
That's what they're using over here now. That's where most people are building condos and townhouses with that concrete slab roof and over here.
I hope that the people in Florida will start that one in the United States of America. I've seen so many properties just go just like that in a week from up, and that's it. There goes your $250 or $500,000 property, just like that. But the Caribbean standard is good. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Have you ever thought about politics? Because you have accomplished so much. And how many businesses really? I didn't ask, how many businesses do you own?
I think over 6 or 7. Architectural, work with an insurance company. That's why I said we're plenty of potential. If you come to us as an investor, it's a one-stop shop.
Right.
And the prices that you're going to get is You could take it and go somewhere else, and you still can't beat those prices at the beginning.
I was just thinking that we need to tell Forbes magazine about you. I'm saying, oh my God, for anybody who wants to come to Turks, they can ask you to buy them a home with all that you have accomplished so far.
Dr. Hunter.
Yes, yes. No.
I am passionate for people to follow their goals and stick. You understand? And you asked me that question, in my mind, I'm still on that because I'm passionate about people not being deterred about trivial stuff. That's what I'm going to call it. But keep the course, man. You can accomplish so much by not being. You see, sometimes Satan show those things in our way to deter us, you know, to stop us from reaching our goals. You understand that way? And we want to keep focus, but two things are right. Go wrong. Once you set your course, continue on that course and don't be deterred. Sometimes when things happen to us bad in our life, some good come right after that. You know, anytime there's nothing good comes easy. Remember that. Nothing good comes easy. When you fight for what you want, you feel a sense of worth and of accomplishment in your life. Most people, they tend to give up. Don't ever give up. You know, when I was going through the service, I was recommended to be director at the age of 21. I was too young. Couldn't happen. Yeah. At the age of 21, I was recommended. When I reached the age of 26, it came up again. I was too young. You know? And I know that I had a lot to offer as director of immigration because I was the honest director who wrote manuals, operations manuals, management documents at the time. You know, and I'm not blowing my horn. I'm saying, I'm giving you some factual here. I'm giving you facts. So I implore any young person, you're never too young. Don't ever feel, oh, I'm too young, they're not going to do this, I'm not going to get this. You know, once you fight for what you believe in, be true to yourself, you'll be true to others. And just stay the course. Now you asked me what I want to be doing in the next 5 years.
5 years, yeah. Will you be premier?
Interesting that you said that. Many times I was approached to run for office, but my religious stand, no, I can't, because when you're a politician, it's gonna affect your spirituality in some way. Because at some point in time, being a politician, you have to tell a fact.
that is so true.
That
is so true. But what is your religious background? I mean, are you Christian, Catholic? What?
Don't be baffled. I'm Jehovah's Witness. I'm a Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, you're a Jehovah's Witness.
Yes.
Oh, great group of people. Great religion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I say that once we stay the course and we do what is right, you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
You know? So in the next 5 years, I want to be on a boat fishing.
You want to be on a boat fishing? Can't you do that? Can't you do that after the program? Can't you have so many beaches? Can't you do that after the program?
All right. What I'm trying to say is that I want to be retired, relaxing, fishing, traveling, things like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see you doing that. You have heard it from the best, Mr. Alonzo Malcolm, a great achiever, a winner, one who a historian. has so much experience. You have inspired us here today on Pathway to Success. And you know, the inspiration you gave was so strong. You know, even when you were talking about the naysayers, to keep focus on your goal and continue to press on. I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to inspire us on Pathway to Success.
Thank you very much, Doc. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you too. Looking forward to seeing you. Oh, when I go there, we got to get on the boat and some fishing.
That was only an expression. I don't really want to go on a boat.
I like that. I like that. But
I was trying to use small words, but big meaning. I want to.
Yes. Again, we celebrate you. Thank you again for gracing our stage on Pathway to Success. Have a great week.
Thank you.
You can win in everything you do. You have heard Mr. Alonzo Malcolm, the different stages in life, that is different steps he took in life. There was challenges along those steps, but he kept his eyes on the goal. Today, I want to leave this bite with you. You can do all things because there's a winner on the inside of you. Have a great week.